YouTube is hard to grow on, but there is one YouTuber who is slowly but surely making his way to the top, and his name is Affan Syed. So, Affan, tell us about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Affan. Thank you for inviting me onto the show. Really
No
excited.
problem.
I make videos about tech and helping out creators or newbie creators discover their creative self.
Great. So, who inspired you to start YouTube?
Yeah, it was back in the day. I started my channel back in 2012. Initially, it was some gaming channels, like Gaming Lemon, Ali, and then as I furtherly progressed in life, it changed to Marcus Brownlee, Linus Tech Tips, Austin Evans. There are many other, like Casey Neistat. There's so many people that inspired me to start YouTube channels. I was like, heck yeah, if they started with the number 0, then it is totally possible that I can someday make it big on YouTube too. So that was the core inspiration, putting my stories, my journey online and reflecting back upon it like, yo, this happened and I was going through this. So that was the core intention behind creating a YouTube channel, was making a storybook for my own self so that I can reflect back, and hopefully if this thing pushes out, then yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, so like you mentioned, your niche is kind of like tech and like helping out newbie creators. Did you go into this niche because of the YouTubers you were watching, or is it just something you like doing? I'm guessing.
So like I started with gaming videos in the beginning. Then it was hacking through my PlayStation Portable. I was experimenting around, right? I was making budget computer builds. So it's all over the place. But like 2015, 2016, I was still figuring out stuff. And then it took me around 4 years to solidify what I want to do. Then around last year, June, I began this podcast, and like I was like, okay, I think I should start making something that I really like. So what I did was, there's this big EV electric vehicle company in India. It's called Revolt Motors. So they make electric bikes. I'm saying electronic. They make electric vehicles in India. So I got a chance to interview him. So I thought, yo, let's just put it up on Spotify. The journey began there, and then I was, okay, let's interview more people from all around the globe. And then what happened was, 5 episodes down the road, I was like, okay, what am I doing with this podcast? What is the core intention behind this podcast? So what the core intention behind the podcast that was made over this 5 episode tenure, I got to know that it can be helpful for a new creator to step in and begin their YouTube career or internet career, and also help out to motivate these creators, seeing that it's not impossible. And so what happened was, there's a story to each creator. There's a story definitely. So this story, it has some turning points that are like lessons. So I want to learn about those stories. I want to learn what lessons they had to go through to achieve this success. That is the reason why I was like, okay, let's make it all about helping the coming generation, you guys, and about the creators of the next gen. It's all about them. And that's the reason why I was like, let's go ahead and create content for the upcoming creator economy.
While we're in the topic of your podcast, how do you what do you look for when you're trying to get a guest, and how do you actually reach out?
It's pretty simple. So let's answer the first question first. How do I choose the guest I invite on the podcast? It's very simple, to be honest. What I do is, like I said, I've been on the platform since 2012, and there are these creators who have inspired me to begin my YouTube channel. And my core intention is to interview the creators that gave me this inspiration to start the channel. Like for instance, one of my creators that I really get a lot of inspiration from, her name is Sarah Dici. She has a really amazing podcast called That Creative Life, an amazing YouTube channel. And I was so fascinated by her journey, and I was like, yeah, I got inspired. And now my intention is I will try to invite her onto the podcast. That's how the criteria is. It's interviewing people that I get inspiration from and sharing those stories online. So yeah, that's how I decide. And yeah, sorry, I forgot about the second part of this question. I was
Yeah.
like, something. So the second part of the question is Twitter. The answer for that is Twitter. So I completely ditch email like last year. I don't email for invites. I know that may sound very weird to you because you
It
did
does.
email, but yeah, but I do not email. I try to build a presence in within the community, online, all public, so that it first and foremost it gives me accountability to create content, number one, and number two, it gets them the message through an unconventional way, rather than when you email the guests, the probability of that going on to a spam is very high. So what I do instead is I
Yeah.
go onto their Twitter where they interact a lot. And the thing is, you put out your request with some value in it, and if they like it, if they enjoy it, and if they uh, love what you do, then they come onto the show. It's as simple as that, and I'm really thankful that it has been working out pretty well.
Yeah. Do you have any tips to like get people through Twitter?
Yeah, so there's this 3-step process to get to meet to your inspiration. And that's the thing with big creators. The thing is, when you invite them onto the show, or when you try to get in reach with them, most of the people, they try to use them instead of be friends with them. And that's the reason why they have a really limited rate of interaction with the people who are requesting for stuff. So instead of that, what you can do is you can offer value to them. I hopped on another podcast last month and we talked about the same stuff. So I'll cover this up here. What it is, so how you can do this is by simply providing value. How can you provide value? So what you can do is you can listen to Sarah. Let's take an example of Ali Abdal. It has worked pretty well for me. So what you can do is go listen to Ali Abdal's podcast, go see his YouTube videos, make a thread, and tag Ali Abdal into it. So what you're doing is you're providing value to him and his followers, and you don't ask anything. This is not the ask tweet. You provide value. You provide value. You just give the value, and then maybe when you guys are friends, you can ask it. You can do the ask tweet because you've provided enough value. But the thing is, the problem with providing value is most people, the problem they face is they expect something. So instead of expecting it, you just give it out, and then probably once you can ask and it may happen. But through this way, the probability of you getting in their radar is increased miles and miles better. I think it's increased 100x bare minimum, because first and foremost you interact with them, and then you provide value to their followers. So it's building an online public accountability for both of you. And yeah, that is one thing that will really help. So provide value, expect nothing, and do the ask tweet. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then you continue doing what you do in your life.
Yeah, I'll definitely try that. I'll try a couple guests and see just if it works. If it does, perfect. I'll let you know. Do you like?
By the way, sorry to interrupt you. No. Like when you send me the email, I saw the list. I was like, yo, these are some big people. I don't know why I'm invited over here. Some of the notable people were, there were too many names. I forgot. I forgot the guy who used to make videos.
Yes, Theory.
Who makes not the guy. No. The guy who filmed the Apple location photos. He puts up
Andrew Levitt.
Andrew Levitt. Yeah. I've been trying to get him on the podcast, but it's been difficult. So I
can
know.
Send him a message. I have his number.
Yo,
right after this interview. Right after we're done, awesome. I'll send him a message.
Awesome.
But yeah,
so
like
I've been I'm really, really happy for you, and I'm really excited to see a very young creator trying to do this new stuff.
Yeah, it's like, for me, when I'm interviewing people, I don't care about the followers really. I just like interview people that I genuinely like their videos, and like I recently found your channel and I love it. So that's why I kind of chose you. But yeah.
Yeah, man, thank you.
No problem. So do you still keep in contact with some of the guests?
I do have 5 interviews all recorded, but I don't have the time because the thing is, I'll be graduating in a couple of months. So Congrats. There's been hopefully that happens soon. So all of this combined with my current YouTube channel and like all the other things is kind of difficult to manage. But yes, there are. Yeah, you are lucky. You're young, so you got a lot of time. Yeah. But once you hit 22, yeah, you have less time.
I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah. I'm also graduating from like elementary school, but I would have graduated last year. But I didn't because Mexico is weird. Because 6th grade is still elementary school. So all my friends from the US are already in middle school, so it's weird. But yeah.
Yeah.
So tell a story on how you got Ali Abdaal on your podcast, because I really like the story.
Yeah, that's a lovely story. So I tried emailing Ali Abdaal. So before even messaging or having any interaction with Ali Abdaal, I interviewed Taimur Abdaal, his brother, who is an awesome person. And we hopped on an audio podcast talking about his journey in data science and his company. It was so awesome. So in that episode, Ali Abdaal was supposed to be there. But what happened was I emailed her assistant, his assistant, what am I talking? His assistant. And what happened was I got a date that was something around 2 to 3 months from that time. So around it was June. So his assistant gave me a date of September, something along that lines.
Wow.
So yeah, Taimur hopped on, and it was a maybe, by the way, it was a maybe. So Taimur said, if you want to do it right now, we can do it. No worries about Ali. Probably that may happen later on. So it was a probability game. So I left it there, and me and Taimur, we had the podcast. We had fun. It was awesome. And what happened there was right after some days after the podcast with Taimur, Ali Abdaal was just tweeting around saying, I wish I could have met more people if my assistant didn't decline their invitation. Something along that lines. So I was like, so I wrote back to him like, yo, but your assistant did decline our invitation. We were supposed to meet, Ali. And he's like, it is a lockdown going on. How can we meet? I told him about, it was a Zoom meeting. I was like, oh, it's a Zoom meeting. Okay, let's do it tomorrow, 9 a.m. BST. I remember the time so good, like 9 a.m. British Standard Time. I remember it so vividly. The reason is simply because it was so influential for me at the time. So what I'm talking here is it's midnight here in India. All right.
Yeah.
And he messages me that tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., we're going to have an interview. So within 9 hours, I have one of the biggest interviews that I've ever done in my life. Yeah. And Ali was very, very, very kind with me. That's what I could say. Like, I was terrible at being interviewed or interviewing people. Like, I had a terrible camera. I had like a terrible way of speaking with people, but he bared with me. And yeah, that's how it all started. Like, I also went to his part-time YouTuber Academy last December.
Recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it, but I think it's not open for people who are under 16. So yeah,
it's okay. I'm gonna be there.
Yeah, it's just a couple of years. So yeah, it was an awesome experience overall. Yeah, that's the story with Ali Abdal.
Yeah, I can also say Ali Abdal was a very nice person. My story was a lot different on how I got on my podcast. But yeah, do you want me to say it or to move on?
Yeah. I'm all ears.
All right. So this was like I had no clue who Ali Abdal was. And my brother was like, "Oh, well, I'm doing a live stream with this YouTuber." So, it was kind of like an interview live stream, and I was like, I watched the whole thing, and I like the YouTuber, so I subscribed. It was Ali Abdal. This was like a year before I started my podcast. So my brother got interviewed by Ali Abdal, and then like 2 years later, after I started the podcast, I was like, I need guests, and I was like, Ali Abdal, and then I completely forgot my brother knew him. So I like did the normal way, like email, and I was like, oh, he knows him. So I was like, could you put me in contact with Ali Abdal? So he sent me his email. And then he just replied. It was very different from yours, but yeah.
Yeah, I think again there's a lot of filtration process, and I didn't know how to email properly. That's also one thing. So what I saw in your email is you said, "Hey, my name," and then you gave your story in the beginning itself, and then you gave the list, and then you said, "Are you interested?" So that format, actually, I didn't know about that format when I began. Like I was not accustomed to how do I invite guests? How do I talk with people? It's all about figuring out along the way. So that's the reason why I think the email didn't get in. But hey, I'm thankful that the email didn't get in, because there wouldn't have been a story to the whole stuff then. So yeah.
Yeah. Like actually a funny thing about the email, like you're the first person I tried like having a new email format, because normally it was, hey, I'm Nico. I might be the world's youngest podcast owner in the world. I've interviewed several big creators such as, and then the list, are you interested? And like you're the first person that I tried out with like my story thing, because I saw someone else doing it. I was like, oh, that looks cool.
Yeah,
so I tried it.
It makes sense.
And it works. It works. So
it works.
I'm gonna continue using it.
Yeah.
Anyways, so you mentioned that he recommended you the book The Third Door. And you liked it, correct?
I love it.
Do you think I should read it? Do you recommend it?
Yes, you should. Everyone should read the book. Everyone should read The Third Door by Alex Banayan. It's awesome.
The funny thing about that, in the past 2 weeks, I've had 3 people, like, I've seen 3 things about that book. First, I was in an interview and he was like, oh, you should read this book. Then I was saying something with my brother. He said the same thing. And I saw your video. I was like, is this a sign? So, yeah.
I've made 2 videos on that book, by the way, because it's for us, by the way. It's for us interviewers who want to interview people. It's all about us. So, yeah, it really established a clear narrative for us. So, yeah, it's a must read for us.
Yeah, I'll definitely try and read it. But yeah, anyways, do you kind of back to the beginning, you mentioned that you did the kind of like gaming videos in the beginning of your channel. Do you want to like continue in tech, or do you want to like move away to another niche?
Yeah, this is a niche that I won't leave ever. So the creativity and the tech niche, I think it's what I simplified myself is I said tech, but mostly it's when I like to do tech. It's not I usually do tech. The core intention behind the channel is the single line: I make stuff to help other people make stuff. So that's the core fundamental of my channel, and I'm gonna keep it till I die. That's my intention for now.
Great. I also really like the niche I'm in. It's like I want the summer to be different. I'm gonna upload like tons of different videos in different niches, but like this past year has been like podcast and then occasional vlog. But I want the summer to like all types of content just to see which ones will do better. But yeah.
Yeah, I think as I said, like I've started in 2012, and then I've tried different types of content that I actually enjoy. So after this takes time actually, but it shouldn't take you guys a lot of time because you guys are really fast. But for me, it was like discovering this stuff single-handedly. It was different. It was very different. So yeah, now the approach is now set to one thing, and one thing only, and it's much more easier, but it takes time. So yeah, experiment stuff. That really helps.
And I hear a lot of people say, find what works and stick to that. I found what works in my podcast, but I'm still gonna do it, but I still want to do different things.
Sure, do it in the beginning, do everything, but as soon as you start growing up, you'll realize what you actually like, and then you'll be niched out.
So I'm just waiting to when I see a big growth spike, and then if I see what like type of video causes that, I'll do that style of video. That's what I'm just waiting for.
Yeah, that's one way to approach it.
Yeah, that's how I'm trying to approach it. Anyway, so how do you come up with video ideas? Because some of them are really good.
Yeah, I actually have really weird video ideas. Like now I'm working on a video right now. I uploaded a new video today, and then right now I'm working on another one. Right? Yeah, in the Mac Mini one. Yeah. So right now I'm working on why I applied to go on the moon, and that's a video idea. Yeah, I applied to go on the moon. Yeah, as weird it may sound. So the video ideas. So I consume a lot of content. That's what I can say. I consume a lot of content. And then that content gives me some inspiration to do that in my perspective. So I have one of my closest friend, Animesh, YouTuber friend Animesh. So what he does is he asks these questions, right? He asks a specific question. Okay, why is this going on? Why did this happen? And that's the same kind of question that I get when I consume content, and I make videos based upon that. For instance, even though the latest video was a tech video, I consider it to be a mini documentary. Why did the M1 Mac Mini, why does the M1 Mac Mini matter? Why does it matter? So asking the questions and answering them is my pure intention with the release of each video. That's the process. Like, consuming content and spinning around with my narrative. That's how I think about ideas.
If you want, you could go into more about the video, because this podcast was coming out like the 19th of August, because I like booked until then. So you can say as much as you want as that video. If you want.
I will.
One of like my personal favorite videos you've done was the Milad Merge one. Will you do more videos like that?
Yeah, that's the videos I'm planning to do, like breaking down how each creator is growing, what they're doing different. Like right now I'm working on Nico Milana and KSI. Like KSI's new album is coming in July. So stuff like that makes me curious. Why are they doing it? Why is this different from what other people do? And that's what makes the curiosity go up. So yeah, that's the type of content I'm planning to do.
What are some of like your goals for YouTube for this year and then for 5 years?
Yeah, this year let's hit 2K subs. Let's have a simple, modest goal. That's a modest goal. Because what I know is, because I don't have the time to upload a lot of things in the coming 4 months. And so I don't have a lot of expectations this year, but I'm going all in the coming year. I haven't announced this on my official channel, but I'm taking a 6-month break, going all in on YouTube. And yeah, I think when I put my 100% dedication towards YouTube, then I'll probably decide on a goal. But yeah, if I'm thinking 7 years down the road, I think really long term, let's have 100,000 subscribers. I'll be happy. No, I modest. That's not even modest for me right now. I'm just at 1,200, but 100,000, I'll be fine, because I'll get my economical stuff covered up and then my life covered up. So I'll be happy with it.
So yeah, I think in like 7 years you'll have like at least 500,000 in 7 years.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, let's see. I hope those words come true. I'll be praying on it.
Also, because like kind of like the quality of your videos, like I can imagine like 7 years how much that is going to improve. And YouTube is also like its quality is evolving. So yeah.
Yeah, it's evolving, and every video goes through a lot of checks. So hopefully it pays off. Hopefully.
What are some of the like your biggest accomplishments YouTube-wise, you'd say?
So all my accomplishments aren't in terms of numbers. I don't have this right. This one is the biggest accomplishment. See, as you said, like thinking in terms of numbers makes stuff ridiculous. So I interviewed
Yeah.
this guy, and this guy has the biggest YouTube channel. So this is my biggest achievement. No, it's not the case for me. So I could say that one of the person that I was subscribed to, who has really less subscribers, makes really awesome content, and I had the opportunity to chat with them. I consider that to be a big accomplishment than compared to, okay, this one is big, so this is the biggest accomplishment.
Henry Belcaster
To
or someone else?
Henry Belcaster is a friend of mine. I haven't interviewed him.
Actually, I interviewed him for my channel like last week.
I haven't seen that. I haven't seen
that. It's because
Henry's
it's not
awesome.
out yet. Yeah, he is awesome. He's like a very nice guy. It's coming out in like July, so that's probably why I haven't seen it.
There's a lot of people, like, that's the thing. I don't why I don't consider a single accomplishment is with each person that I interviewed, with each thing that went on to making videos, going through the community, all the things, is I get a new lesson every day. Like a new I learn new stuff every day. And I think that's the accomplishment for me. It's like, okay, learning how, for instance, I'll take one case out of something. Let's take Ali Abdal's case, right? Before he even went big, like 1.7 million subscribers, his dedication towards consistency for 4 years, putting his head down and working towards building his brand, his education brand, making his YouTube videos, studying at Cambridge. Yeah. All at the same time is an inspiration for me. How he tackled that, it's an inspiration for me. That's and if I learn how he did that, that's an accomplishment for me. So that's how my brain works for accomplishment. It's not the answer that you expected. You expected, this is the biggest creator I interviewed. This is my biggest. If it was a different Affan, he would have said, I met with Austin Evans, my dream hero. But it's not that. It's all accumulated. Yes, it was a big moment, but it was one of the moments that I consider, and it's an accomplishment. Everything that I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for everything. So everything is accomplishment equalized. Nothing is really big or really small. There's no drastics.
Yeah, while we're talking about people who have came on your podcast, who is like the dream person you want to interview?
That's pretty simple. It's Sara Dietschy. if Sara Dietschy didn't come in and didn't start that creative life, there wouldn't be a Didn't Really Name It. If I didn't listen to the first episode that she did with Gary Vaynerchuk, it like, imagine you doing your first episode with Gary V. It's just highly improbable. It's improbable to get a reply from Gary Vaynerchuk. But she got it. She did it. It's possible. I think that's what motivated me. If that can happen, then why can't my storyline be progressed? Why can't your storyline? You're working towards your YouTube channel, your journey. And yeah, Sara Dietschy all the way. Peachy fam here. So yeah.
Yeah, and like I personally haven't watched like one of her interviews, but like the fact that she got Gary Vee as like her first podcast interview is like crazy. Like
crazy.
If I got like one of my bigger guests as my first interview, it would have been the worst thing of my life. It would have been good, but like I would have been horrible at interviewing. Like I would not have interacted. I would not like be like, because before it was like this. He would reply to the question. I would completely forget about his reply and move on to the next question. I wouldn't say, "Oh, cool." I'll say like, "What's your favorite? Who was your inspiration for YouTube?" He'd answer, and I'd move on. So if I got like a big guest that time, I would like, yeah.
Yeah, I 100% agree with this. So what happened was I made around 14 episodes right before I interviewed Jonathan Morrison. So like 14 or 16, 15 episodes right before I met Jonathan. And what I saw was I was a lot prepared when I interviewed him. Like going back at my first podcast, if I listen to my first podcast, the audio, the video, it wasn't even video, the audio, the interview style, it was terrible. And I wouldn't want, if someone asked, would you go back, and if you were given a chance to interview the inspiration that you really admire, have to get on that show for your first episode, I would say no, I don't want that. Because if I don't learn how to do this stuff, then it's not worth it. But yeah, that you were right.
Yeah, because I have a guest I interviewed early on, which I love his videos, and like I want to read the interview so bad, and I want to like, but I'm waiting for like.
You can't go back now.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm waiting one more year, and then I'll like reach out to him again if I was like redo the interview, because I feel like it'll turn out a lot better than it did, because like everything was horrible. So right now you probably can't see, but like I have a blur. But yeah, I had like these things were all like all over the place. My door in the background was open. All those things back there were like so messy. I wasn't good like responding to questions. It was just horrible. I like cringed so much when I watch it back.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the part. Like you look back and you cringe a lot. Like I did the same thing with my first podcast. What the hell am I thinking with the setup that I had? What the hell am I thinking with keeping my microphone like that? Why didn't I do this? Why didn't I say this? But that's the part of growing up. It's you see, you reflect back, and first and foremost, you cringe a lot. But then again, if you look on the other side of the mirror, you're happy that the progress have come a long way. As you said, now we are having a good conversation, right? If it was the first episode, you might be having a really difficult it would be really horrible. It would be really difficult for you to catch up on my ending line, and then you trying to start the story from there, making sense of the whole stuff. It's difficult. So yeah,
it is.
I agree with that.
And like some people don't realize that, like some of like the viewers don't realize how hard it is. So yeah.
Like right before this call, I think it's not. I have to put this on the YouTube video if you are going to do it. Right before this call, I had to set this whole thing up with my laptop, and it took me 35 to 40 minutes. And I think he's been waiting for what 45, 50 minutes.
No, it's okay. It's like I've waited for hours, and the person never shows up.
Oh, that's bad. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry to listen to that. Sorry.
No, don't worry.
But that's the thing. Like there goes a lot of effort before everything goes out to the public. And yeah, that's the thing. I stopped listening to feedback that is actually doesn't make sense. Like there should be something constructive criticism, but that's not the way people approach stuff. They start ranting out, you don't know how to do it. Okay, then make a video. Right. If someone with no YouTube channel or any content ever made starts ranting you out, you just ask this one question. Okay, here's a challenge. Just go ahead and make one YouTube video. The process, sitting in front of the camera, talking with the lens, that's tiresome in itself. And it's a difficult process, editing videos and all the stuff. So yeah, that's how you should reply to these people.
Yeah, and sometimes they don't see like you sitting there for hours like editing like the thumbnails, and they think it's like, oh, you edited so bad, I would have done it so easier. And then I have like friends who say, oh, if I were you, I would already have 100,000 subscribers. Easy. And I'm like, no, you wouldn't. Like that is not easy. It's not like this. It's actually hard. But yeah, I'm like, go try YouTube.
I don't say, I don't think you should say, no, you didn't, no, you couldn't, but it may be possible. Like anything is possible in today's age. But the way approach, like for instance, today, in today's video on Twitter, I got a comment saying, like when I uploaded the image of my thumbnail, it was a bit left. So it wasn't aligned perfectly. He didn't watch the video. He didn't go on to, like the video that I put in hours and hours of work. He didn't even say anything about it, but he complimented my thumbnail. So like they can do this nitpick all day and night, but what you have to focus is take the criticism that's right, improve upon it, and dish the negativity. So yeah, that's the way you should approach it.
Yeah, the thing I was like trying to say, I wasn't saying they couldn't get 100,000, but they were saying
Mhm.
I would get 100,000 in a week. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
you're
it's
just
possible.
starting out, and it's impossible unless you're like Dream or like making Minecraft.
And if you get a
shorts.
shout out from Mr. Beast, yeah,
Exactly.
that may be possible.
So,
So
what are like some of your favorite things about YouTube and least favorite things about YouTube?
like right now the direction of YouTube is kind of changing, but it's still, the core fundamentals are still same. What I'm talking about is the ability to broadcast yourself, like putting on stories online. And when I see the videos by Casey Neistat shot back in 2015, I feel really awesome that these are memories that people put up and they are forever. That's the thing. Whatever you put online on YouTube, it's forever. It's a directory that you can revisit anytime, and there isn't any restriction that these memories will get deleted. That's one thing that I really like about YouTube. It's the ability to simply start a channel broadcasting yourself, and things can get really big if you put in the work.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, if you put in the work, if you put in the time, you naturally get better, and then things will start working out for you.
Yeah, you've been doing awesome.
Thank you.
One example.
And yeah, it's like I've had friends who like started YouTube around the same time as me, and they have quit because they didn't grow in like the first year. And I'm like, you probably aren't going to grow in the first year. Um, it'll be hard. And I stick through it, and like 2020 was like my best year on YouTube. I grew like half of my subscriber count in like 3 months, and like half of my view count. So it's like, just wait for it. Your time will come. You will have like your good month, your good year. Just wait a while, and then you'll have it.
Yeah, it's a marathon. It's a long endurance marathon. It, we are just waiting for that one video to get recognized by YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I think the one video that, for instance, how I got to know about Ali Abdal on YouTube was his one video about his keyboard, his Bluetooth keyboard. I was interested in his Bluetooth keyboard. He was holding it up there, and I was like, interested. That looks good. That's it. That video now has around 2.5, 2.3 million views. And that put him on the map for YouTube. That skyrocketed his channel from 7. Yeah, exactly.
A video of a keyboard.
A video of a keyboard took him from 700,000 subscribers to 1.5 million in 6 months. So double the count. And this 700,000 subscribers, he was building from 3 years. And then in 6 months, it's doubled. So we are all waiting for that one video to go viral. So until then, it's putting your head down and creating. That's it.
Yeah, and you can like sprint through the marathon. It'll be hard. Yeah.
It will be hard. It's mostly improbable.
It might happen. It'll be hard.
It might.
Anyway, so what are like your least favorite things about YouTube?
I think the least favorite things about YouTube is like when we watch the old videos by Casey Neistat. I think you haven't watched a lot of them because it was not for your time, but right now you're building your own memories.
Yeah,
right? You're gonna build your own.
I did watch some of them. I watched like
some of them. Awesome.
When he was in the middle, that was when I kind of started watching it. But yeah.
Okay, awesome. So what happens is the ability to freely express your content is now kind of bit lessened down. So for instance, before it was, I don't encourage saying curse words, but it was allowed, and it gave a certain type of freedom to the creator. But nowadays it's not that, and the copyright system is manipulated sometimes, because okay, you put up a tiny bit of music and then your whole video gets demonetized. There are some couple of things that I didn't like, and these are the couple things I didn't like, but the things that I like, they outweigh these things. So yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, it's definitely very annoying, like having a 8-second clip of like a Justin Bieber song and YouTube's, oh no, not even though it's not even 10 seconds. Shoot, your money's not yours anymore.
8 seconds. That's too much.
Yeah.
I got flagged for 2 seconds someday. I remember.
Really?
Yeah, 2 seconds.
I got like a whole video blocked from like multiple countries for a 2-second clip of like a Dua Lipa and the Baby song. I was like, what?
Oh my. Was it the levitating song?
Yeah, it was that song. I used it for like 2 seconds, and then YouTube was like, oh, 2 seconds? No, we're blocking your whole video from like multiple countries. I actually look at the countries they blocked it from. It was a lot. So it was Cuba, North Korea, Iran, and Syria.
All right. The first was the last, the second, the one in the between are funny. North Korea. Yeah. They don't like the baby.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Iran and Syria also don't like the baby.
Yeah. Iran has an history.
Anyways, do you have any advice for anyone who wants to start doing YouTube?
Yeah, stop thinking about what you want to put in. Like, the thing is, people take a lot of time in thinking about the YouTube video instead of making it. So the first 10 videos, it can be garbage. Make that garbage. Reflect. Take the criticism. Learn what learn about what's wrong with your videos, and keep doing what's right with your videos. I think that's how you should approach it. Like, start right now, even if it's possible today. Start today. If you're thinking about starting tomorrow, it's late. Start today. Make those 10 terrible videos. See the stuff that's working, what's not working, and then continue from here on out. I think I had the same problem. Like last year, I didn't buy a camera, I didn't buy this mic, I didn't buy lightings, nothing. I had literally no budget. I was shooting on a webcam. I started because now that I see the terrible quality with the webcam, I'm really happy that I'm able to shoot with this gear right now. But instead, what many people do is they don't start shooting their videos. Okay, I'm going to wait for the camera. I'm going to wait for the microphone. I'm going to wait for the lighting. You have the most powerful device that can record good videos in the beginning. It's your phone. Everyone has a good phone. I have a phone. Everyone has a good phone. Start with that. I think most people don't do this. Instead, they start waiting. So imagine if I waited to get this video thingy started last year. I bought this camera after the Ali Abdaal interview, sometime after Ali Abdaal interview. If I just thought I shouldn't be messaging or emailing Ali Abdaal without buying a camera, that wouldn't have been possible today. So it's a string of events that take on from the beginning. And yeah, I think we should start today if you're thinking about YouTube. That's it.
And the thing is, most people don't have an excuse to like start, because like you said, it's like your phone can record videos for you. You just like open up YouTube, like the little up arrow thing, and like record. Hi, this is my first video, and then boom, you made a video. It's like so easy. There's no barrier
to entry is less. Yeah. The barrier to entry is getting less now. On YouTube, you have YouTube Shorts. Shorts, just a 60-second clip. Create a 60 seconds clip. Put it on YouTube. People
millions of subscribers, which is crazy.
Yeah, Milad Mirk is one of the examples.
Yeah.
But so I mean, start doing it. That's the thing. People don't start doing it, and then they reflect back and they feel bad. I did this, by the way. I'm not saying I'm the perfect guy. I started not giving an F for this stuff last year.
Curse, it's like,
because
it's okay.
No, but no, I can't. It's ethically wrong for me. So I waited from the year 2016 to 2020. I gave myself reasons not to create videos. I should have a better microphone, a better camera, don't have the setup, I don't know how to edit. There's so many reasons that I, made all together. I just compiled them, and then I didn't do it. But instead, if I just took an approach where I started it, then the channel would have been on another level. But I'm really thankful that I started last year, or else it would be really terrible.
Yeah. This is the end of the podcast. Thank you so much, Affan, for coming on the podcast. This really means a lot. So before we end, do you have anything you want to promote?
Yeah, just subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let's hang around with this journey. Really excited to see you.
His YouTube channel will be in the link in the description, so make sure to go. Please subscribe to him. His videos are amazing. But yeah, anyways, thank you so much for coming on to the Nicocast, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Nicocast.